Hello, everyone, and welcome to another backstage interview at the Metals Investor Forum. Hopefully one day we can actually be physically at a forum again, but for now we continue to chat with you online, which is a lovely alternative. I'm joined right now by Ralph of Telson. Ralph, thanks so much for coming backstage with me here to have another chat about Telson. And we were just, I was just thinking before, there's no sort of shortage of things to talk about with Telson because you are incredibly busy. So let's just maybe run through everything that you expect to complete at Telson over the next, I don't know, 6 months, 9 months, because there's a huge number of things. Maybe we'll start by taking a quick step back, which is that you just completed a major sort of financial restructuring redo of Telson that is enabling the things that are going to happen in the next 3 months. So why don't we start there?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's absolutely right. We've done a lot of restructuring, brought on a new board of directors, well, a lot of new members to the board of directors. That restructuring funding that we announced a while ago, it's not quite complete, but we're really, really close. So the Ascendo Banco restructuring of the loan with Nearstar and Nearstar and Trafigura is basically fully agreed to now. It's just getting the paperwork through to get signed, and it will be signed at the same time as we close the Ascendo Banco loan funding. And that I would say 1 to 2 weeks away from that. We're really, really close. So as soon as we get that done, then we can actually get back and concentrate on, or myself, concentrate on the business at hand. Obviously, everybody else is still working away on that, but I'm really wrapped up in those discussions and paperwork, etc. Mm-hmm. So with that, let's talk about what will come. So right away, we'll restructure our debt, and there's a lot of debt. We'll start to move out of short-term into long-term debt. Upwards of $22 million, which will look really good on our balance sheet.
And that's really important because I feel like, at least before this financial restructuring was announced, to some extent, Telson had been a bit written off in the market as not likely to be viable. But of course, this refinancing and moving all that debt to long-term and getting, of course, new operations going and improved, that changes that completely.
Yeah, it does. I mean, that was the big question. Could we survive with that much debt in default? And, thankful to Trafigura for letting us get the funding in place and being there with us to make that happen and to renegotiate their loans and extend them out over a period of time. So they've been good partners, and we're really happy to have them on board with us. So carrying on, we'll get that done. And then, we're building, the construction is ongoing at Tahuehueto right now. We're using the private placement funds and the advance from the silver stream to continue it on. When we close the Ascendo Banco loan the next couple of weeks, then we'll have the full funding available. And we expect that to bring Tahuehueto online towards the end of this year, at least with one ball mill. And then early next year, we would be ramping up a second ball mill to get to capacity of 1,000 tons per day. So there's lots of little milestones that we're achieving on the construction. The tailings facilities getting built, and the mill is being constructed, underground development, so on and so forth. All of that will fall into place over the coming months. And then once we're—
I was going to say, like, building a gold mine is a very substantial thing to do. So that, for a lot of corporations would be the thing that's happening. But of course, that's not the only thing that's happening with you, because Tahuehueto is the second operation in Telson. And the first operation has already turned around, improved significantly over the last year for a variety of reasons. Metal prices certainly helping, but other reasons as well. But you have more in store at Campo Morado as well.
Yeah, we do. We had a really good quarter. We brought our cash costs down, C1 cash costs down to about 70 cents, all in sustaining down to 90 cents. And metal prices right now, and that's a zinc equivalent price. So zinc's trading $1.35 or more at this point in time a pound. So it's doing really well. We're making good money at Campo, but we do have some ways to potentially increase that revenue. One is we have this flotation circuit that was 80% built when the former owner shut down the mine, and so we're looking at bringing that back on stream. That would be late this year, probably next year, before we would be in a position to do that. However, one of the things that might preclude that is some of the metallurgical testing that we are planning and that is underway. We're hoping to sort of solve some of the precious metal refractory gold and silver recoveries. And that's a big push. We're actually what I term as a full court press on metallurgy. So we have a pilot plant being shipped. I just got word today. It was delayed a while because of all of the shipping crisis and the Suez Canal. But anyways, it's going to be loaded on a ship here mid-month, and we should have it early next month on site. And that will take about 3 months, I would say 3 to 4 months, to get through a very extensive testing, metallurgical testing program to both try to recover more base metals by using a microfine grind at Campo Morado to liberate the minerals, and then a specialized flotation system that, a pneumatic flotation they call it, that does a better recovery of ultrafine grind. Traditional flotation cells that we have on Campo Morado don't do a good job at ultrafine grinds. So we're hoping to get the base metal recoveries up on that, but then we're going to try to float a pyrite con, a gold-rich pyrite con. Maybe if that works, we'll be able to sell that. If that doesn't work, then we will take the tails and use either an Albion process or a leach ox process, whichever one gives us the best results. And that's a forced oxidation of the tailings and a leaching of the gold and silver. So we hope to take our gold recoveries. Right now, we've actually increased our gold recoveries. We're in the neighborhood of 20% right now. We were 15% before. Still low, but it's increasing. But we hope to take those up to the 50 to 60% level, which has been shown to be possible with the leach ox process. And even the Albion process did very well in the first phase, or the first pass of testing. So both of those were tested with the former owner, got good results. So, you know, that's like a 300-400% increase in gold if we can achieve that. And
what is your monthly production of gold right now, just so people understand that in like ounces, sort of?
You know, I don't have it figured on top of my head.
Okay,
it's not a lot. I mean, I would say, you know, on an annual basis, we're producing 5,000 to 8,000 ounces of gold.
Okay.
So not a lot.
Still, I mean, should you go from 8,000 ounces to 30,000 ounces? I mean, that's a notable difference. Clearly.
Yeah, and note that Campo Morado is really fairly high grade precious metals, mostly silver. It's got about a gram and a half, gram 7 gold, but it's got 125 grams silver on a global resource basis. So that's really, you know, a lot of silver. And if we can recover 60-80% of that, then Campo Morado could become a silver mine. And you know, that's what we're trying to push towards. Obviously, there's still a lot of base metal there, but you know, if we can start recovering that silver, we can turn it into a precious metal mine. And then with Tahuehueto coming on stream, that alone will make Telson a gold producer. We'll switch from a base metal producer to a precious metal producer. Mm-hmm. So those are the types of goals we're after at the Campo Morado, and they are achievable. The first phase testing shows we can do it. So we'll see how second phase goes, and then get the capital costs for installing that technology. And away we go. Should be able to raise the money, and it's all looking pretty good.
That's definitely a busy 9-month timeline there. Like, build a gold mine, become a gold producer. So, you know, from my investor perspective, there's certainly a re-rating potential on becoming a gold producer, and then, you know, constantly improving the base metal recoveries at Campo, while also layering in this, you know, figuring out how to, you know, triple your precious metal recoveries from what's a fairly precious metal rich VMS system there. That's a lot of irons in the fire. We'll see just which one sort of lights up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I mean, we didn't talk anything about exploration, but we're currently really not funded for exploration. But if we were to get funded, you know, maybe a $4 or $5 million program for exploration, we would start that probably certainly on Tahuehueto, possibly on Campo Morado as well. But there's no, you know, it's a wish list. I wouldn't say we have current plans for it.
Yeah, there's no rush on that. You certainly have enough reserves and resources at each asset to support what you're doing right now.
Yes.
But yeah, so of course there's a wish list.
Yeah, the reason to try to get it going as fast as possible in Tahuehueto is we believe very quickly we could bring in enough new reserves that could justify an immediate expansion of up to 15 to 2,000 tons a day. So that's a target we would like to get to over the next year to 2 years, but needs exploration success.
Well, there you go. Good luck wrapping up all the paperwork so you can, move on to the next pile of things, because there's several piles ahead of you.
Yeah, I'll be happy to get that right over so I can concentrate on the fun part of the business.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thanks for the additional update there, Ralph, and we'll check in again soon.
Thanks, Gwen. My pleasure.